Amanda, because you asked, let me just give you a brief idea of what things look like from the student side. Here I'm logging in as a test student made up. This is their dashboard. When they log in, they get their current grade, and they also have a list of items they need to practice. If they click on any of these, they'll be led straight to practice problems, just as they would if they clicked on the P buttons here. These are learning targets. Use standards-based grading. Each one of these learning targets is deemed either a fundamental, a core, or an advanced target, and they are broken down that way in calculating the grade. Data here on the right shows student progress for the recent work, their recent quiz work, which is my generic label for anything they do solo with a teacher watching. And then in calculating their grade, I give them credit not only for their most recent quiz, but also their best quiz, and insist that they have at least 2 perfect quizzes before they can earn an A grade in that particular learning target. If this student wanted to practice, say, this learning target, evaluate claims about conservation of momentum, they could click on the practice button here, and it would open up a sample problem that allows them to practice that skill. Now, this particular skill, being a core skill, isn't the kind that's automatically graded. There are other questions that are algorithmically generated and computer graded, so the student can get some feedback as they work. If I log in now as myself, the teacher, I'm going to be brought to the teacher's dashboard, and I can look at progress for, let's say, our made-up student Andy, and see that right now he's been active. It's been 73 seconds since he made his last click, and he's working on the learning target number 12. That was the practice question that we took a look at. Currently, his agenda has 3 practice items on it, and no practice items that he has already practiced so many times that I'm beginning to think that he'll need help. Throughout the term, he's averaged just slightly more than 3 items on his agenda, which is a little more than we'd like to see, but that's a good indicator of his effort level and how compliant he's been to the homework required. I can take a look at any particular unit, which is just a group of learning targets, usually a chronological group, and if I see any evidence in class or any other basis for a formative assessment, I can click plus or minus, giving them some credit, which will change their recent work score. On the other hand, if I saw something that made me question it and I downgraded their recent work, that would cause the item to appear on his practice agenda. Similarly, for that quiz that we saw earlier, because it's a core learning target, it would be evaluated by a rubric. I'd want to see the work, and if Andy had completed that on a piece of paper by himself, in class, and handed it in to me, then I would be able to assess his work most likely on several different learning targets based on his work. These are things I'd expect to see, and by the same token, I can give credit with the plus and minus buttons, and when I update the input, it will change his most recent quiz score in each of those areas on the basis of how I graded him on this assessment. That also might become his best quiz score, and if it's a 100, might even tally him a 100 and get him on his way, in the case of this learning target, to earning an A or turning this B into an A. So thanks for your interest. I'll probably be posting some more refined videos in the near future. If you go to Socratic Brain and click on the link to visit as a guest, you should be able to look at a selection of videos. Feel free to contact me again if you have more questions.